It's always too easy to focus your attention on the top of the Premier League, with the quality only increasing to even further nosebleed, increasing standards each year. The plus inevitable race for a UCL spot, which feels this overdone to the point the battle to avoid a drop can be overlooked. That's criminal. Avoiding relegation in any league is a massive ordeal, not least the most lucrative in the world. The Championship is a dogfight, with those parachute payments only going so far. It can endlessly be difficult for Premier League teams to work their way back up to the top tier. Sometimes relegation is a foregone conclusion, and clubs can look all down rather early in the season. And while that can be a bit underwhelming, it's all the sweeter when they find a second win and neutrals are treated to a dramatic dart to try and stay up. So we've ranked the 9 best great escapes ever, starting off with Aston Villa in the 2019-20 season. Despite going all the way to the final of the EFL Cup and losing 2-1 on the day to Man City, Aston Villa's league season was far from a success, spending over 100 million on their promotion and breaking a club record for Wesley. Dean Smith's ride retaliated massively on Jack Grealish to keep their head above water, while flirting from the drop zone all season. 4 points adrift with 4 games ago, they went on an unbeaten run, winning twice and crucially drawing West Ham to secure safety. Moving on then to number 8, and Oldham Athletic in 92-93, a great escape in its inaugural season. They proved to be a shrewd advertisement for the drama and entertainment the newly formed Premier League would show. A good start that saw them firmly in the middle of the pack, and they dropped off and found themselves bottom with 10 games to go. They needed 3 wins from their final 3 to even have a chance of staying up, and they pulled it off, beating title challengers Aston Villa to kick off the run. Crystal Palace lost on the final day, seeing relegated Oldham surviving on goal difference. Number 7, Fulham in 2007-8. Turning to Roy Hodgson as Premier League survival was called into question around December that time, Fulham had plenty of work to stay up. Despite staring relegation in the face after a defeat to Liverpool in April, a vital comeback against Man City next week saw them avoid confirmation. This was hopeful to cling on to Hodgson's side, who galvanised heading into the final straight, winning their final 2 games to jump out of the drop zone at the Zeph, confirming survival with a 1-0 win away to Portsmouth on the last day. Moving on then to number 6, and that's Everton in 93-94. 2021 at 22, and this season isn't the first time Everton have been perilously close to losing their status, as having never been relegated from the top flight. In 93-94, they retained their status by the skin of their teeth, going 2-0 down to Wimbledon on the final day of the season. Looked to be a nail in the coffin for the Toffees, who had been in the First Division champions as recently as 87. That was until an incredible comeback with a 3-2 win to confirm their safety. In 5 is Sunderland in 13-14. In a whirlwind season, Gus Poyet at Sunderland never looked consistent enough to stay away from relegation following his arrival in October, but they managed it, and with some unlikely stories. Finishing 14th doesn't tell the entire story of their wobbles. After losing just once in the month of January, they went on a torrid run of 9 games without a win, picking up just 2 points from February to mid-April. After shifting momentum strung their way at a crucial point in the season, Fabio Borini netted 4 goals in the last 5, and a away win at Chelsea, igniting a crucial 4-game winning streak to guide them clear. In 4 is West Ham in 2006-7, arguably the most controversial in Premier League history. West Ham confirmed their safety on the last day with a 1-0 win against Champions United. The goal scored by Carlos Tevez scored West Ham's safety by ensuring Sheffield United went down instead, because Tevez wasn't officially owned by West Ham but instead by third party. The Blades attempted to sue in order to retain their Premier League status. That was unsuccessful, but their appeal to an FA panel forcing West Ham to settle out the court, paying under to sum in order to avoid paying United some 30 million in compensation. Number 3, Wigan in 11-12. It would have been very easy for Wigan to hit the panic button and circ from Roberto Martinez after 8 consecutive losses from September to November, but patience would pay dividends. A torrid January saw them lose another 4 in the spin as they lost pace, but even though they spent plenty of time at the foot of the table, they kept believing. The Tits came up trumps after that, rebuilding towards the end of the season and won 7 of their last 9, including games against Liverpool, United, Arsenal, and avoid relegation rivals Blackburn. Moving on to number 2, and that is West Brom in 2004-2005. Brian Rodson's appointment as manager in November couldn't stop West Brom from being bottom of the table at Christmas, making relegation to Championship feel unavoidable. Somehow, though, the Baggies managed to make it to the final day of the season with an already been confirmed relegation in a tight affair. They headed to the final match of the season against Portsmouth at the bottom, but finished 17th after winning 2-0, while Norwich lost 6-0 at Fulham, and Palace learnt a 2-0 lead to draw 2-2 with Charlton, seeing them both relegated. And number 1, Leicester in 2014-15. Finishing 14th doesn't tell the full story, as Leicester needed and found a miracle in order to stay up. Esteban Cambiasso signed on a free transfer couldn't inspire them up the table, as they spent almost 5 months in the last, but 2-1 win at West Ham to start April inspired a monumental comeback for Nigel Pearson's side, who won 7 of the last 9 and lost just 1 in the process, dragging themselves from certain relegations to staying up. And it's even more spectacular given what happened the next season, of course. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't forget to comment down below, follow the show for daily football news, and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.